What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Fight Night. Blaydes versus Dos Santos just happened this past Saturday. It was a pretty fun card. Nice little easing into the year. First with the pay-per-view, last week with Conor versus Cowboy, now with the little Fight Night card. Pretty fun card overall from Raleigh, North Carolina. There's not another card till February 8th. It's UFC 247, John Jones versus Reyes. So I'm not going to make picks for that or talk about that card yet. Next week, I think, will probably be next Tuesday. I'll look at the card. Hopefully there hasn't been any changes. You know, sometimes people fall off cards. Things happen. But yeah, the Blaydes, Curtis Blaydes versus Junior Dos Santos. Curtis Blaydes, up-and-comer in the heavyweight division. Young up-and-comer in the heavyweight division. Just anytime there's a new heavyweight that's kind of making waves, it's always exciting because it's an exciting division, but it has the problem of kind of everybody fighting everybody because there's not a whole lot of variety. There's not a lot of people in the division, pretty light division. But even still, some of those guys that have been in the division forever still have opportunities to kind of make waves, like Junior Dos Santos, who going into this fight was talking about, you know, like everybody is going into boxing. It's like the biggest trend in MMA is to talk about or call out people in the boxing world, saying that they want to go over there and try and beat them, which is fine. I mean, it's a money-making move. I don't really care to watch it. I did watch Conor versus Floyd. Highly disappointing. Not only that fight, but all the fights that were on the card. Boxing in general is kind of frustrating to watch after watching so many MMA fights for so many years. It's just so limited. It's so limited with what they're doing. And I love minimalism. Don't get me wrong. Less is more for me. But when it comes to fighting, just using your hands is a pretty unrealistic fighting style. There's no boxers that have crossed over into MMA successfully. I mean, there's people that have boxing backgrounds that have trained MMA for years, that have gone up, and that's kind of their staple. But you're never going to see Floyd Mayweather go into MMA and do anything to anybody. It's too far away. He's too old. There's too much to learn. So anyway, Dos Santos going into this fight had that kind of mentality of him being a great boxer and wanting to go in to boxing. However, Curtis Blaydes shut that down. Wasn't able to get any takedowns, but in the second round was able to, just from the threat of the takedown, which Curtis Blaydes, his wrestling is amazing. But I don't know if it was a combination of Dos Santos, his fighting styles, keeping those hands low to kind of help keep him from getting taken down. But Blaydes was able to was really finding a home for his punches in the second round and was able to get Junior Dos Santos out of there. Great win for Blaydes. I love seeing him atop the heavyweight division. I would not mind seeing him fight Stipe Miocic. Stipe, his eyes still healing up, saying that he's only looking to fight new people, which I have no desire to see him fight DC again. Considering DC is the one that injured his eyes, Stipe's eyes, and this is the reason why he's been out. Also, DC didn't show him any respect when he won the belt from him, the longest reigning heavyweight champion, in a fairly close fight. I mean, it was a knockout, but you know, him trying to go for the money fight with giving Brock Lesnar a championship opportunity just for the money fight. It was stupid. It was stupid. And I'm glad it didn't happen. Then he fought he fought the Black Beast. on like short notice just because he blew up on social media from his balls being hot. Just I don't know. DC gets a lot of I don't get me wrong, I think he's great on the commentary. I think he's great analyst. He is a great fighter, but let's calm down. He's not like the people talk about DC like he's the best thing to ever happen to MMA. And just because he's a nice guy, give him all the credit in the world for kind of being an asshole. You know, like when John Jones, back when John Jones was poking people in the eyes, which he stopped. He kind of stopped once he started getting busted for all the other things outside of the cage. He hasn't poked anybody in the eye, but that was kind of his thing back in the early days. John Jones, you know, trying to post up, end up poking people in the eye. There's a lot of other fighters that have taken on that kind of they took the baton in the eye poking championship, and DC is one of those. And I don't know. It's just I just retire, DC. Just retire. I don't care. Let Stipe fight in the division so he can defend his belt and, you know, kind of make a legacy for himself. But whatever. I would love to see Blaydes fight Stipe. I think that would be a good matchup. They both have good hands. They both have good wrestling. I think just overall, stylistically, it would be a great matchup to see. So if not Ngannou, I mean, Ngannou's right up there too. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch with Stipe and Ngannou. But since Stipe wants fresh blood, I don't think he's fought Blaydes yet. And Blaydes is one of the top guys in the heavyweight division. So I'm excited to see that. Also, Michael Chiesa versus Rafael dos Anjos. Chiesa just dominant performance. Really took control of the fight with his grappling ability. Also, the size difference is ridiculous. Both of these guys fighting at welterweight, formerly lightweight. Dos Anjos was at one point a lightweight champion. Was supposed to fight Conor. Conor was supposed to try and get that second belt from Rafael dos Anjos, but like so many people who fight Conor, got injured in the training camp and couldn't do it. That's why Nate Diaz became a thing, because he took over to replace Rafael dos Anjos in that fight. And then later, Rafael, you know, went up in weight class. It was too hard for him. But Chiesa looks huge, even at welterweight. Looks great. His stand up kind of looked sloppy once. It was mostly grappling, and then once he got back to his feet, or once Dos Anjos was able to get back to his feet, you could tell that Chiesa's striking was a little rubbery. But it was still good enough to keep the fight in his favor, and he got the decision, unanimous decision. But yeah, good fight for Chiesa. He called out Covington, which I'm good with that. I don't know when Covington's supposed to be coming back. You got Angela Hill had a great fight. Her jiu-jitsu really set up the mount, and then to throw those elbows, that was great as well. But yeah, fun card. Looking forward to the new cards this year. But that was a good start. Kind of a nice little ESPN Plus card to cleanse the palate, get you ready for John Jones versus Reyes. There's also been drama with Joe Rogan and Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith talking shit about Cowboy, saying he folded like a cheap lawn chair or whatever. Rogan didn't appreciate that, said it was a bad... I mean, Stephen A. Smith, an entertainment personality in ESPN world, in the sports world, talks about all the games that people play with bats and balls and all that kind of stuff, you know, most of the normal sports that people watch. And then he's coming in trying to talk about MMA like he has any kind of experience or any kind of like... he's acting like he's an authority, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And Rogan called him out on it, and then Stephen A. Smith, because of his ego, oh my god, I can't be wrong. My perspective there's no way it can come from a perspective of ignorance that maybe I just don't know what it takes to be. Maybe I don't realize the respect I should be showing these guys. But and then to post a clip of the worst pad work you've ever seen as like some kind of some kind of like showing that you're involved in MMA, like you're training. I don't know. It's just the most ridiculous shit. Steven needs to realize that he's out of his range in this. Like, just because he's hired by ESPN doesn't mean he's an authority on any sport that he feels like he wants to talk about. So I don't know. It's an interesting kind of drama back and forth. He recorded a follow-up just the other day, getting back at Rogan. I think he's just trying to get on Rogan's podcast. I'm sure Rogan will have him in at some point and they can hash it out. But, I mean, it's just going to be a 2 hour, an hour-long episode of Rogan putting Stephen A. Smith in his place. That's going to be it. So, I don't know. It is what it is. But a fun night of fights anyway. But that's it for this episode. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!